Hello students, I am Priyanka Chaugule from Computer Engineering Department. I am going to teach you the subject Object Oriented Programming, which having the subject code 22316. Just like your C programming language, object oriented programming is also the basic programming language for application or software development. Before starting with our syllabus, we discuss our curriculum. First, we will see the rationale of OOP. In the modern world of information technology, the object oriented programming has become the most preferred approach for software development. Computers are designed to follow the set of instructions. A computer program is a set of instructions that tells the compiler or computer how to solve a problem or perform a task. During the last few decades, the increasing the complexity of software system is due to the increase in the user requirement. To build today's complex software, it is just not enough to put together a sequence of programming statements and set of procedures and module. We need to incorporate sound construction technique and program structures that are easy and simple to comprehend and implement and modify. So, the OOP means object oriented programming is mainly used for solving the more complex real world problem. It also offers a powerful way to cope up with complexity of real world problem. By using object oriented concepts, we can easily solve any real world problem. Among the OOP languages available, C++ is the primitive language which develops fundamental understanding of object-oriented concepts. There are different basic OOP concepts such as classes, objects, inheritance, data abstraction, dynamic binding, message passing. By using these basic OOP concepts, we can easily implement or easily develop the basic software or application. Next, we will see the course outcomes of object oriented programming. There are total 5 course outcomes. First, develop C++ program to solve problems using procedure oriented approach. The programming languages mainly divided into two parts or two sections. First one is the procedural oriented approach or procedural oriented language and object based language. Consider your C program. Your C programming language follows the procedural oriented approach. Means while implementing C program, you must follow one of the sequence or one of the flow for solving that particular statement or solving the particular problem definition. Second CO is the develop C++ program using classes and objects. Classes and objects are the basic concepts of object oriented programming. By using classes and that classes objects, you can implement object-oriented or C++ program. Any program written in C++ language consists of class and their class objects. Once you define any class, you can create any number of objects of that particular class. Means, consider for an example, when you create a class as a fruit, then you can create multiple objects like mango, banana of that particular class fruit. Third CO, implement inheritance in C++ program. Inheritance is the one of the important feature of object-oriented programming languages. Inheritance provides the facility of code reuse. Next, last CO, develop C++ program to perform file operations. While a computer system stores programs and data in a secondary storage in the form of files. A file is a collection of related information. A file is a sequence of bits, bytes, lines or records whose meaning is defined by its creator and user. A file is named and it is referred by its name. A computer programs are written to store the data and read the data of that particular file. Next, we will see the teaching and examination scheme. The teaching and examination scheme is divided into two sections. First one is the theory section and second one is the practical section. In theory section, there is end semester evaluation and progressive assessment. The total end semester evaluation is for 70 marks. And the total progressive assessment is for 30 marks. The 30 marks are divided into unit test, your class test and micro project mark. The total is out of 100. You want to get minimum 40 marks for passing. Next section is the practical section. The practical section is also divided into two parts, end semester evaluation and progressive assessment. The total end semester evaluation is for 25 marks and progressive assessment is also for 25 marks, and the total practical marks is of 50 marks. Next, we will see the theory components of our syllabus, of our curriculum. First unit is the principles of object-oriented programming. Programming refers to the method of creating a sequence of instructions to enable the computer to perform a particular task. It is done by developing logic and then writing instructions in a programming language. In short, a programming language is a language used to write a computer programs. But computer programs are written in two ways, by using procedure oriented approach or by using object oriented programming approach. your C programming language follows the procedure-oriented programming approach. Consider the example of when you want to calculate the area of circle, then you follow some sequence for writing the problem statement or writing the number of instruction statements. So in our first topic, first we will see how the procedure oriented programming was a powerful and an easy approach for writing the program. The procedure oriented programming approach is the traditional conventional way of programming where an application or problem is viewed as a sequence of steps, means algorithm. The conventional programming using high level languages such as C follows the procedure oriented programming approach. In the procedure oriented programming approach, the problem is viewed as a sequence of things like reading, printing, calculating, and so on. Next, we will see the object oriented programming. The C++ is the object oriented programming language, means everything is considered in this OOP as an object. Means here you want to create one of the class, and by using that class you create the number of objects, and that number of objects are communicate with each other in object oriented programming. Next, basic concepts of object oriented programming language. Then we will see the basic concepts such as objects, classes, data encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, dynamic binding, message passing, etc. Next, object oriented programming languages. Then we will see which languages are considered in the object oriented languages, such as Java programming language, C++ programming language. These languages are considered in object oriented languages. The next point is the applications of OOP. There are different applications of OOP where the OOP means C++ language is actually used. For example, for designing the user interface in popular application, the OOP is used. Or while developing the computer games or in virtual reality, the object oriented programming language is also used. Then next we will see the C versus C++. C and C++ both are the basic fundamental programming language for developing any software, but there is some differences of structuring C program and C++ program. Next point is the structure of C++ program. In the last semester, you studied you learned the structure of C program. Now, in C++, you study the structure of C++ program. The structure of basic concepts are remain same in C and C++ language, but there are some differences. That differences are studied in this structure. Then next one is the simple C++ program. In this point, we write a basic hello world program in C++. Then in next point, there are basic concepts such as tokens, keywords, variables, constants, data types, user defined data types, typecasting operators, and extractions. Next one is the next point, control structure. In control structure, you study the decision making statements and looping statements. In decision making statements, there are different points such as if statement, if else statement, nested if else statement, etc. And in looping, while loop, do while loop, for loop, etc. Next one is the scope resolution operator and memory management operators. These are the special operators you want to study in C++. And the last point is the arrays, strings and structures in C++. Already you know the basic concept of array and structures in C. The concept remains same in C++ also, but writing or the syntax for that declaring or defining array and structures in C++ is somewhat different than C programming language. Then the second unit is the classes and objects. For representing the various real-world objects as a program elements is one of the key objective of object-oriented programming. In C++, this objective is accomplished with the help of a user-defined data type as a class. First we will see what is class. Classes and object. First we will see what is class. A class is a way that binds the data and functions that operate on the data in a single unit. The classes and objects are the most important concepts in the C++. Means consider an example. What is an class? Consider the example as a fruit. If you consider a fruit is a class, then fruit class contains the number of objects, means all types of fruits are together in a fruit class, and the number of objects of that particular fruit class are banana, mango, apple. These are the different objects, means instance of that particular fruit class. Then next point is the specifying a class. How the particular class is declared or defined in C++ language. Then next, access specifier. There are different access specifiers such as public, private, protected. Then we will see in this point what is the actual use of that particular access specifiers or that access rights. Then next one is the defining member function, means how we can define different functions or methods in the C++ language. Then next, creating objects. When you declare one of the class, then in C++ you create the number of objects. Then in this point you learn how to create the number of objects from that particular class. And then next one is the memory allocations for object. How the actual memory is allocated for every object in our program. Then next point is the static data members and static member functions. You know what is static. Then in C++ we study how the static member function and static data member in declared in our C programming language. Static variables are normally used to maintain values common to the entire class. And the static member functions are also used to access other static members of the same class directly. Then we will see the new concept in C++ as friend function. A friend function can be a function or function template or member function or a class template, in which case the entire class and all of its members are friends. Then next point is the array of objects. You know the basic definition of array. The array of variable of a class data type is called array of object. As store group of objects together, means array of object means number of objects are grouped together. And next point is the object as function argument. You can pass an object to any method. How it is passed or how it is created, we learn in this point. The next point is the concept of constructor. First we will see what is constructor. The constructor is the special member function whose task is to initialize the object or whose task is to allocate the memory space for that particular object. Next, there are different types of constructors like default constructor, copy constructor, parameterized constructor, etc. Then we will see the multiple constructors in a class. How to define the multiple constructors in a only single class. And next one is the constructor with default argument, and the last point is the destructor. Destructors are used to T allocations, means when you destroy any object, then destructor is automatically called for destroying that particular object. Then next unit is the extending classes using inheritance. First we will see what is inheritance. Inheritance is the capability of one class to inherit properties from another class. Inheritance in C++ is a technique of organizing information in a hierarchical form. Consider of an example of child inheriting the features of its parents. Means base class is the parent class and child class inherits the properties of parent class. First we will see the basic introduction of inheritance. Then next one is the how a derived class is declared in C++. Then visibility modes and their effects. Then next point is the types of inheritance. There are multiple types of inheritance like single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. And the last point is the virtual base class. C++ has a mechanism for eliminating multiple copies of a duplicate base class members called as a virtual base class. And the last point is the abstract class. An abstract class does not create any object and it contains one or more functions for which there is no definitions. That abstract class is also known as pure virtual function. Then the next unit is the pointers and polymorphism in C++. Our fourth unit is the pointers and polymorphism in C++. A pointer, you know what is pointer. A pointer is a special type of variable that literally points to an address in memory of another variable. Means when you want to call the address of any memory location, then that pointer is used. And another concept in fourth chapter is the polymorphism. Polymorphism means poly means many and morphism means forms. Means polymorphism is one name and many forms. Consider the example where three different classes such as circle, rectangle and triangle are derived from the base class as figure. Means one base class is the figure and there are three different classes as circle, rectangle and triangle. And the function draw of the base class is implemented in different ways in all its derived classes, and a call to a particular function is determined at runtime. This is called as polymorphism. Means one main class is the figure and in that class the draw is one function and there three objects as circle, rectangle and triangle. Draw circle, draw rectangle and draw triangle. In this example, which shape we want to draw is determined at runtime. This is also the example of polymorphism. There are different types of polymorphism such as compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. There are different concepts in compile time polymorphism like function overloading. Means same function name is used by multiple functions. Next, operator overloading. Next, overloading of unary and binary operators. And next type is the runtime polymorphism. The runtime polymorphism example is the virtual function, and in this point we also study or we also learn how to define a virtual function, what are the rules for defining virtual function, and what is the concept of pure virtual function. And the last unit is the file operations. A computer programs or a computer system stores programs and data in a secondary storage in the form of files. A file is a collection of related information. You write the information in different formats in file. File stores the number of data. A file stores a sequence of bits, bytes, lines and records whose meaning is defined by its creator and user. Means when you consider an example, when you create an notepad files of your details, then that details are created by user or creator of that particular file, and a file is also named and is referred by its name. Means you give or you put the name for that particular notepad file. But while operating the file, you want to do the number of operations on that particular file. The different operations such as opening files, closing files, reading files, writing to the file, these are the some of the operation you do on the file while reading or writing the contents of that particular file. Then in last chapter last point is the detection of end of file and file modes. There are different file modes, how you can define the different file nodes, how you access the data of that particular file is given in this point. Then next we will see the suggested specification table for question paper design. The total weightage or total marks for the first unit is the 40 marks, for the second unit is the 18 marks, for third unit is the 16 marks, for the fourth unit of 14 marks, and the last unit having the 8 marks. Then last, you want to do one micro project for object oriented programming subject. For creating micro projects, here shown the samples of micro project titles. Develop library management application, next develop hotel management application, develop bank management application, develop store management application, develop hospital management application. Similar type of real-time applications or softwares you can design by using object-oriented concepts. You want to do one micro project for object-oriented programming. And the last is the learning resources. Here shown the different reference books for object oriented programming, and different softwares and learning websites. By using this, you can learn the basic concepts of object oriented programming, or how the object based programs are written in C++ language. Thank you.